Welcome to this edition of the Southwest Ohio Magazine with Greg Curlis and Mary McPhail. Tonight we have guests from the Grassy Run Heritage Rendezvous from Georgetown, Ohio, which will be happening April 17th, 18th, and 19th of this year. So be sure to stay tuned. And now here's Mary McPhail.
Hi, and welcome to this edition of Southwest Ohio Magazine. Greg Curlis couldn't be with us tonight, but he'll be back for our next program. Today I'm excited to introduce you to Mr. Ron Schaus. He's the current president of the Grassy Run Historical Arts Committee. Welcome to our program, Ron.
Thanks, Mary.
I understand that you've got the Grassy Run Heritage Rendezvous coming up in April. Could you tell us a little bit about the dates and times for that?
Yes, I will. It's the 17th, 18th, and 19th of April. It's 1 mile west of Georgetown, Ohio on State Route 125 at the OVAM Showgrounds. That's where they have the big tractor show in the fall out there. It opens up Friday. Friday opens up at 10 a.m. and closes at 6. And Saturday is 10 to 7. And then also on Sunday it's 10 to 5.
Now this is a historical reenactment of several periods of Southwest Ohio history. Could you tell us what the reenactment covers? Well,
this is considered a timeline event. Our timeline consists of medieval all the way up to Civil War, even a little Western. We have a couple gentlemen bring their horses, they pack their horses up, and they ride in and they camp for the weekend with us. And then all in between, the French-Indian War, the War of the Indian Wars, War of 1812, buckskinners, pre-1840s.
That sounds really interesting, and I think it's something that families would definitely enjoy. It is open to the public.
Absolutely. The admissions for this thing is real cheap. We keep them cheap enough so a family of 4 can walk in there for under $10. We're not really worried about making a lot of money. We just want to pay the bills.
Well, I think this is a real good opportunity to enjoy history and historical events recreated as they would have been for the times. And in fact, Rick Crawford, who many of our viewers are aware is a past host of this program for our Halloween events and several other shows, and is now a great historical member of the Clermont County Historical Society, is one of the founders of the Grassy Run Historical Arts Committee. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Back, I believe it was 1988. You have to excuse me on the day because I've only been involved in the group about 4 years, and this was back before when Rick was involved. I was after that. Rick is one of the founder members of the Grassy Run Historical Arts Committee. Yes.
That's wonderful. And Ron, you've brought some wonderful other pioneers with you here today. You have your son Jared, welcome Jared, and Lee Bishop and his daughter Erica. And Lee, what drew you to the Historical Society and the event?
I think the big thing with our group, or our family, was the fact that it was family oriented. There are so many people from different backgrounds, attorneys, bank presidents, factory workers, electricians, paramedics, and all their families. So that was the big thing for us.
That's really nice. And Erica, I understand this year, for the second year in a row, there are Cub Scouts that will be participating by having their camp out at the event. Could you tell us a little bit about the boys' involvement?
Well, they come and learn a lot of different things about history, and Ron teaches them how to start a fire with flint. And it's really interesting to see them enjoying and learning about history. Because, I mean, so many children their age don't understand and don't learn about that young of age. And when they're in Boy Scouts, they can come to these sort of events, and learn about these kind of things. And that's it's really nice to sit back and watch them enjoy it and have fun.
Well, if we have other young people watching, Erica, what would you tell them is the thing that you've gotten out of your membership in the society and your participation in the rendezvous?
Just being around the people and learning about history. And because, I mean, in school, you learn what they want to teach you. And in this, you get to have fun while you learn. And that's what's really interesting about it. That's
neat. And how long have you been involved with Jared then in this event?
I've been around the group for 5 years. The first year I sat and camped the event and just watched this group, just watched them, seeing if I wanted to join them. There was one of the very few groups in the area where I came from. I was living up in Hamilton area, and I was involved in the group up there. And I sat and watched them for a year, decided that I wanted to join them. So I've been involved as a member for 4 years now.
Wow. Now see, I think that shows that there are new members that can come into a group like this and participate, meet a lot of new friends, and the show, April 17th, 18th, and 19th, would be a good opportunity for families in our viewing area to come out, to meet all of you, to get a lot of history, and to really be involved in their community. And as you said earlier, before we were even on camera, that once history becomes real to you, then you really can understand it, take an interest, and pursue history on your own. So I think that's real important. Tell me, what is the admission cost for the event?
I believe, let's see, it's $3 for adults. 15 years to 5 years, it is $2, and under 5, it's free.
Wow, so that is really reasonable. So a family of 4, as you said, could easily come to the event for under $10. I think that sounds like a wonderful way to spend that weekend. And with the weather we've had this past week, if it holds out, it would be a wonderful opportunity to get outside. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd like to come back and talk about the various entertainment, the people that will be participating, and some of the actual activities. We've also got a few artifacts that you did bring with you today. So I'll tell you what, we'll come back next segment and talk about some of that. And we'll be right back. Hi, and welcome back. Ron, I think we'd like to tell everyone some of the wonderful things that they'll be able to enjoy at your event.
Absolutely. The entertainment that we've put together this year is probably one of the best entertainments we've had in past. I'm going to start out. We have the Caledonian Pipe and Bag Corps. They are a full Scottish Celtic marching pipe band and drum. They are the Shriners out of Cincinnati, and they are excellent. We've got them on Saturday at a show at 11 and a show at 2. We've got Michael Carr, who's an old-time strolling fiddler. He'll be in strolling the grounds, playing the old-time fiddle music. We have Brad Kepler, which we're really happy to have Brad. He's from the upper Ohio area near Michigan. He is a Scottish and Irish folk singer. He's highly known through the Rendezvous circuit all over the United States. And he will be there on Saturday and Sunday. So we're looking forward to him. Saturday and Sunday also we have a hammered dulcimer and auto harp, Barb and Mel Derrickson out of the Ripley, Ohio area. They will be doing that type of music, and it's lovely music.
Well, we were talking earlier, and I'm very partial to hammered dulcimer music. And in fact, when I come to the event that weekend, I will be hunting down the hammered dulcimer because that music is so beautiful. And if you've never had the opportunity to see it played, I know a lot of people have heard music either on the radio or on various TV programs, but to see these instruments played and the fiddle in person, and it sounds like you've brought in talent, not just from this area. People are actually traveling to come here and perform.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I wanted to say about the bagpipers, the one song that gets me every time they play Amazing Grace through the bags, and I get chills just thinking about it now. Every time I hear it, I get cold chills. It's the music is the time, the era, with the harp, the auto harp, and the dulcimer, hammer dulcimers, and the fiddle player, and the minstrel singers. It's a very nice rounded entertainment weekend.
Now the bagpipers as well will be in authentic period
Absolutely.
costume.
Oh yeah, kilts and all.
Wow.
And they march through the grounds. They don't stand, they march. And what's neat about all the people, the public will jump in behind them, they'll march with them. And they'll have 30, 40 people behind them as they march through the grounds.
Now see, that sounds interesting to me. So in other words, you wouldn't just have to sit in one place to enjoy all these performers. You can walk around the grounds during the event and catch performances by several different groups while you're enjoying some of the other tradesmen.
Absolutely.
And Lee, that brings us to some of the exhibitors that will actually be exhibiting trades from the period, and you were also going to talk about the weaponry that will be exhibited. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Our time period is 1760 to 1840, basically, and you'll see most anything in that time period. One of our members is a blacksmith, and I'm sure he'll be doing some work. As far as the weaponry, we will be shooting the black powder weapons. I'm not sure what time, just any time Saturday and Sunday. There will be tomahawk throwing, and they usually pull people out of the crowd to get them involved in it. Like I said earlier, it is family oriented. So they pull people out of the crowd to get them involved. The black powder shooting, you must be in costume to shoot, but the public is more than welcome to come watch, to see how they're loaded and what it takes to shoot one.
Now see, I think that most people would really enjoy this. I know my husband and I have been to Williamsburg in Virginia, and they do demonstrate some of the flint weaponry and stuff down there, and Dick and I found it so interesting to see what really went into making one shot from some of the old weapons. So I think a lot of the young people, and we were adults when we did it, would find this really interesting. Tell us about some of the other tradesmen. You indicated there would be a blacksmith.
Yeah, there'll be a blacksmith there. There'll be people working with leather. You're just liable to see most anything. The way some of you'll see people cooking over fires, making most anything. On Saturday, there'll be kids' games, mostly younger children, but they all get involved and have a good time.
So the children can participate, and that would be a really good opportunity for families to check out the activities of the Historical Society, and if in fact their children and themselves end up having a fun time at the event, that might be a good opportunity for them to look into being involved in what you do. Mm-hmm. And Erica, tell us a little bit about what you'll be doing at the event and some of the demonstrations that you'll be around.
Well, a lot of the people that are there, they make beautiful beaded air decorations, very pretty, and some beaded bags. And like my dad said, he mentioned cooking over an open fire. It's always fun waking up in the morning and cooking breakfast over the fire. It's a lot of fun.
And have you yourself mastered the art of striking the flint or not?
I haven't. It's takes a lot of talent.
Leave that to the Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. And your mother is involved too, do I understand? Yes. And what does she do at the event?
We sort of walk around, and if people have any questions, either we answer them or send them to someone who can answer them, and we cook over the fire, and it's a whole lot of fun.
And so you stay in character, so right. When the young people ask you questions, you can answer as an individual from that time would in fact answer the question.
Right.
Well, that just sounds really interesting, and in fact, this event will run for the full 3 days, right. And I really hope that people will come out and check it out.
It's rain or shine. You know, we stand, if it rains, we stand to unfortunately lose some money, but we enjoy doing this. But it's rain or shine. We're not canceling that event. Come out in the rain.
The pioneers did it.
Absolutely. They lived in the tents when it poured down rain or snowed.
You know, that's true. So see, you can get realism, although obviously we will hope that the weather of this past week holds on for April 17th, 18th, and 19th. Well, we'll be back next segment because I'd like to discuss some of the wonderful artifacts that you brought with you today, and so we'll be right back. Welcome back. And this segment, what I'd really like to talk about are some of the wonderful artifacts and costumes that we have here today for our audience to check out. And your son Jared is how old?
Jared is 9.
And could you tell us a little bit about the outfit Jared's wearing?
Jared is more into the Western type, Native American type clothing. We'll start out with the moccasins and then the leggings. The leggings are wool, which protected the legs from the elements, and also wood, stickers, and stuff like that. And then he's got a burlap type breechcloth on, which is Native American influenced. And a lot of the settlers did go to what of the Native American influenced type clothing. Then he's got the calico pattern type shirt. That is cotton. These are all man-made materials, as far as not synthetic, all cotton, wool, linens and stuff like that, because that's how they made them back then.
So they're authentic to the times.
Right. And then he's got some necklace pieces on, which could have came from maybe a friend, a Native American friend that traded necklaces with him, wood and bone and glass and arrowhead. With the elk teeth on it, which could signify strength. And basically, that is more of a Western type dress, not so much prevalent here in the eastern area of
Well,
Ohio.
Jared, you look very handsome. Could you give us a big smile? All right, Mom will like that. Well, thank you, Jared. That was wonderful. And Ron, I'd like you to show me your flint box, and you have some other equipment you've brought with you.
Yeah, this is some of the things I keep in my accoutrement bag. Accoutrement bag is, or my possibles bag. It's everything I would possibly need to survive. This first is a colonial tinder box. It is brass. This is handmade. This is where I would keep my flint and steel. This is be my fire starting equipment. This would be a steel. A blacksmith would make these for you, and a piece of flint rock, which is very prevalent in this area, and then of course the black char, which holds a spark. But you strike it to get sparks on it in order to start a fire. What's good about this box also is that this also has a magnifier on it. If it's a nice sunny day, you could use the sun to light a pipe or to light your fire for what be it. So it was a dual purpose type situation, and like I said, this is handmade, and you'll find some of these up there at the event. These would be readily available to buy for a public. I know our scouts bought them out last year.
Oh, I'm sure. Wouldn't that be fun? And in fact, you said you will teach young people that come to the show how to do this.
Absolutely. And then I go into some of the handmade stuff that you'll find there. This is a hobby for us, of course, and we love history. But a lot of the stuff that you can't buy is very expensive to buy. So you learn to do the crafts yourself. And this is a horn I just got done. This is for a flintlock rifle. This is a primer horn. This has got the little scallop work on it, and as far as this is where you would put your black powder, your fine black powder, to prime your muzzleloader rifle. And the butt part of it is wood that's from this area. This happens to be, I believe it's pine, because it was soft and it's carvable.
Wow.
You wouldn't want to do anything heavier because you wouldn't be able to carve it very easy. That's
beautiful.
Some of the stuff that you hand make. You have to, because a horn like that would run $35, $40. So you learn to make the stuff yourself.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's move on to Lee. And Lee, you were talking to me earlier about the tomahawks and how the families that come to this event will be able to see that demonstrated. Could you tell us a little bit about the tomahawk?
Yeah, this is excuse me. This is what we refer to as a hawk, and this item was used 200 years ago, not necessarily. Sometimes as a weapon, but a lot of times as a tool. A lot of times in the movies you see them throwing the tomahawk, and that happened very seldom. Most of the time the hawk was used, you just used it as a club or used it as a camp tool.
Oh, okay.
And at our rendezvous, I said something about throwing the hawk. We throw at a wooden block, and we usually throw at playing cards and make a game out of it, which is a lot of times what they did. And this is not necessarily just for the men. A lot of times when we throw, my daughter throws, and I usually don't do that well against her. She usually throws better than I do. So we'd like to have everybody get involved and watch this, and hopefully, Mary, when you show up, we'll
you want to put me to the test? Well,
oh, yes.
That's a challenge, and in fact, it would be one I would really love to try. And you were saying earlier, the costumes that you are all wearing, you do have individuals that participate in the historical committee that actually sew the costumes for all the members in the group, and the costume you're wearing was in fact sewn by a member of the Historical Arts Committee. Is that correct?
Oh yes. Several of the ladies do some really good seam work. One of the ladies in the club made the vest for me. Everybody seems to have a trade that they work on. My wife does a little bit of sewing, and there's a couple of ladies that do a lot of making the shirts, capotes, handmade items. One of the fellows, like I said, does blacksmith work. Ron does his work with these powder horns, and he makes knives, some really, really good knives.
I think that's neat.
And Ron said that this can get expensive, and it can, if you go out and buy everything. But a lot of people in the group make things, and they trade and barter for goods. So you learn to do this, and it makes it a little cheaper for you.
Well, and a lot more fun.
Oh, yeah.
And Erica, I'd like to ask you, now let's say I come to this event and I'm getting kind of hungry and thirsty. I see you have a pewter tankard there. What can I expect to find at the Heritage Rendezvous?
Well, there is modern food there, hot dogs, soda, whatever you'd like. But this is one of the cups that they would have used. It is made of pewter, and they usually maybe carry it on a rope hanging on their possible bags or in their possible bags.
So that is also authentic to the period.
Right.
That's wonderful. And your necklace you made.
Right.
And people can buy necklaces like that at the event, is that correct?
Right, very similar. There are like general stores, and you walk into a tent and there'll be several tables set up. You can buy, there's some period shoes. You can buy leather, sinew, and you can also buy some beads. And I made this one myself because I found it to be a little bit cheaper to buy the materials and make it myself.
Well, I think that shows real talent, and I think that's wonderful because it shows that you are getting skills from participating in this event. And I'll tell you, we'll be back in just a moment to share with you again the details and the directions and some of the information about the Grassy Run Historical Arts Committee and the Grassy Run Heritage Rendezvous coming up in April. We'll be right back. Well, this has certainly been a fun show. I feel like we've gotten to hear about a wonderful event. We've gotten to see a demonstration of some of the artifacts that will be at the event, and I've met some wonderful new friends. Jared Schaus, Lee Bishop, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, Mary.
And Erica, you did indicate if I come to the event, you'll teach me how to make one of those necklaces.
Yes, I will.
I want you to know I have very poor hand-eye coordination, so it may be a real challenge for you, but we'll go for it. And Ron, I can't thank you enough for bringing your friends with you today and for encouraging everyone in the community to get involved in history. And would you tell us again about the event, the dates and the times, so people can mark it in their calendars?
Absolutely, Mary. It is April 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's coming up real soon. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and opening up on Friday at 10 a.m. until 6. Saturday is 10 to 7, and Sunday is 10 to 5. And plenty of food and drinks on the grounds, plenty of things to do, plenty of things to see. We're just looking forward and invite everybody out to come and see us.
And if they want more information on the society, can you tell us again who they can call? Because I really think a lot of the families that see this program are going to get really excited about having a new family activity they can participate in, and at least they'll want to check it out.
Absolutely. For more information on the event or a membership for that fact, they can call 513-734-1119 and any time.
Well, this has been great, and Greg, we missed you a lot today, but I know I'll be seeing you back our next program. And thanks everyone for watching, and just thank you for your time today. This has been a real learning experience for me, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing you all again at the show and meeting some of the other members of the Historical Committee.
Well, thank you very much, Mary, for giving us this forum. We appreciate it, and again, hope everybody comes out to see us. And do me a favor, bring Greg with you.
I'll tell you what, we'll do that. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.